I told myself I was gonna record earlier, and then I just got like lazy and doom scrolly and didn't ever get to it. Um, and then of course we scroll past Dochi, who really is like a big inspiration for me and why I even am doing this the way that I'm doing it. And I just kind of remembered that like I have to do this for me. I've been slacking on like my writing journaling. I used to do that very heavy daily. I try not to force myself and just kind of allow it to flow to me when it flows to me. Um, and just kind of do it when I have something to say instead of sitting there just like trying to force myself into it, you know? Um, but I wanted to come here because I think I put a lot of pressure on myself to achieve these goals that I have in my head. And I tend to like procrastinate a lot and put things off out of this need for perfection or for things to look and be a certain way, or I'm doing this thing because it has to have this outcome rather than just like stepping back and doing it for myself in the moment. And so that's what I'm doing now is I'm going to just keep posting as if this is my own personal journal. I'm going to continue to document my life online. Y'all can tag along, y'all can not, like it's really okay either way. So where am I at? What am I doing now? That just made me think of this I wrote myself a letter last year, or a bunch of questions or something. I like probably asking myself like where I'm at this time of year. I told myself that I can't open it till Christmas, so that's coming up very soon. That's crazy, guys. The month is almost over. That's fucking I mean, the year's almost over. That's crazy. Okay, and I'm still waiting for my money to flow in. Because I ate 12 green grapes and dressed head to toe in all green with money stuffed pockets and wallets. So like, come on, like I'm waiting underneath the table and everything. Like I'm waiting for my ritual to take place, and maybe just maybe it will be due to this gal right here. Do you see her? Ignore my shelves. But we got the poll, bitch. We got the poll. I'm so freaking excited. Okay. I went back to the gym for the first time today. This is like gym journey restarting part 754. Like I'm just waiting for the next time that I start again for it to actually fucking stick and for me to get to where I want to get to, because after putting on this weight in such a short amount of time, and I already spent like I've done a lot of work on the nutritional end is where I started with it rather than like working it off. I mean, I was trying to do the walking, but then it got cold outside and yeah, girl, I don't want to be cold all the time always. So I got kind of stopped on the walking thing. I was doing pretty good for about a week or two, and then I fell off. I was trying to get like anywhere from 10 to 20K steps a day. But yeah, I fell off, and then I was having issues with my gym membership because my credit cards were so full, and it was just like a financial thing, so I couldn't clear them enough to get my gym membership back active. But we just finally got that all set and clear and done, so we'll be back in the gym for surely. I need to get better at sticking to my routines because I let myself slip so far away from the image that I thought I was creating, and I was just going through so much nonsense and thinking that I was like doing all right, you know. But clearly my body and something other to tell, because who just gains, first of all, the stuttering and then not finishing the sentences is driving me insane right now. But that even area of like brain fog, it's just I'm not gonna dive into my whole situation here, like living wise, because this is going on the internet. Um, but I just think that where I'm at currently does not foster as strong-willed and strong-minded as I, thank you, universe, am. Um, I think it definitely still puts a big fucking damper on my cognitive abilities for sure. In so many ways that I probably can't see because to me they've become so normal because I've been living in them for so long that, it's hard to see the damage that it's doing when again you're just used to the thing. And I'm dying so badly to get out of it, which is why I've even like pivoted towards the dancing route. And even that feels like it's come and because I was actually opposed to the idea, quite honestly, because I grew up around a lot of creepy adults, and I never wanted to give them the satisfaction of like ever possibly crossing paths with me and having the access to my body that they so clearly desired, even from me as a child. Um, which is like, your girl's been through a lot, okay? Um, and literally within a week of me saying, like, I'm jumping all over the place clearly, but in a week of me saying that, like, to other people, I was like, even entertaining the idea of like being a dancer, like I could just never do it because I wouldn't want to give those people the satisfaction, right? Of being able to come find me and see me doing XYZ. And I honestly don't know what the hell flipped and switched. But I've also been having a lot of setbacks with like securing full-time employment and like a second job, even though what I'm working with right now is not going to cut it, especially if I plan on moving across the country anytime soon. And so, I feel like this is almost a blessing in disguise. For me, not only did it come attached to that being something that like held me back from it, but it was always an idea in the back of my head, like, oh, if I had the body, I would totally do it. Like, oh, I just got to do it one time, like a bucket list kind of a thing. But then I was just kind of like, what's really stopping me? And what's stopping me is the idea of maybe like what my mom might think of me, and that's something that even like holds me back with the whole like my sexual fluidity, because I have never like outright opened up to her about that because she's just always like, and it's not even, I don't know, she's very free spirited, lets her kids be who they are kind of a person, but she definitely has her opinions about things like that. So I honestly just like never really opened up to it. And also, probably part of the reason why I never engaged in it much. Because I was just always so fearful of like what she might think of me, or like, disapproval. Even though I know that like she would get over it. she would have no choice but to get over it, and I don't think she would actually feel any differently about me. And then also aside from that, just like wanting to reclaim my body and my sensuality and my divine femininity, through something that I love, being dance, that I never got to do or experience as a child. I used to always want to belly dance, and my mom told me like, oh, that was too grown up for me. And so this is just me kind of like reclaiming all of that and rewriting the story. And also, I feel like I've really unlocked a deeper part of myself through finally entering this experience. And I've been like trying to figure out what my thing is, in the gym and getting my body back down. I've always been very like health conscious. Am I very good at being health conscious? No, I eat a lot of junk food. I eat a lot of sugar. I've been a lot better. But so I've always wanted to see myself as a gym person. I've always loved the idea of calisthenics. And polling is basically just sexy calisthenics. Like, come on now. Like, and it's so fun that it's like, that's the thing is like, even with like the healthy eating, it's like I'm trying so hard to fit into the mold of like what it has to be, even if it is quote unquote unenjoyable, but like food should be enjoyable. It can be enjoyable and it can be healthy. Exercise should be enjoyable. It can be challenging and painful, but it can still be enjoyable. Like, so I think I've found my thing because trust and believe, any girl that can do pole work deserves all the flowers. Bitch, this shit is no joke. Like, you take a class and tell me it's just easy breezy. Like, it's not. It's really some shit. Um, and so I got myself the pole. I'm in a very YOLO fuck it swag, c'est la vie ass mindset as of lately. Just trying to really embrace and embody this new version of myself. Ooh, okay. Because speaking of making money and like why I even got into this, I took a hiatus from karaoke because I felt like the people that I was surrounding myself with, um, kind of morphed me into the version that I am right now, which is feeling very deconstructed and like, you know, in process of like reforming and remetamorphosizing. And I just felt like I kind of grew out of that group of people because trust and believe. I'm a 25-year-old girl. I have no business hanging out with 35-year-old plus men who are all divorced and go to bars and drink their fucking faces off every goddamn night. Girl, I was going through it, girl. I was really just like, I was just doing shit. But I think that's also like kind of what this phase in life is about. Like, I feel like this is a really pivotal phase that I'm in. Like, I just turned 25 and already like the levels of growth and experiences that you're gonna go through just from like your early 20s. Like, now I'm entering the late 20s. Oh my god, I'm reaching auntie status. Hey, as long as I'm the rich auntie and I don't have no kids till I'm like 30 something, I'm cool with that, honestly. I'll be auntie. I don't give a fuck. Just, I ain't trying to be nobody's baby mama, I will tell you that much. Okay, let's keep that in mind. So yeah, back to what I was trying to say. I took a hiatus, and I was just, I know these people are still going out. I've been contacted by a few of them, and I've either blocked or just stopped answering, because I didn't want to come back to these places until I felt like I was back to me, till I lost this 30 pounds I put on in a matter of a few months, and like, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to take a break from that space, and as much as I miss going out to sing, like, they're still there. So, but I did see today that they're doing another, because I was worried I can't just tell a story and be like straight and like whatever. So I was trying to enter this contest, but it kept like lingering on and on. Like, there was never a set date for it. I'm going on vacation soon to go visit California to see if that's where I really want to live. I'm so fucking excited. I'm so excited. Oh my god. To just get away from all of this shit. Leave in like 2 weeks. Oh my god, I'm so excited. But yeah, so I felt like that was probably gonna interfere with it if it was gonna start soon, and like, again, that was just a place that some of the people that I know went to, and I wanted to take a step away from and a step back from. And now I see that this other place that I used to go to karaoke to is doing a contest. And the prize seems to be a lot bigger than the one before, okay? It was $3,000 in cash prizes. And whether I win this shit or not, I would just be proud of myself for even, you know, attempting and going all out, because I've had a lot of issues with like stage fright over the last year of me doing this karaoke thing. And right before I took my hiatus was like the very first night that I actually looked out at everybody while I was singing, or at least over their heads, you know, because that's been my thing. I've always wanted to be an entertainer. I want to be a performer, and I feel like even like doing this whole thing will, with pole dancing, is going to just unlock a whole new level of like confidence and performance, because I'll have to be on stage, I'll have to be mingling with people and, you know, dancing, doing the whole thing. So I just think this is all like, everything happens for a reason. I've been through so many lessons that I'm just like, why? While you're in the middle of them, and I'm always trying to like figure out and tinker and like make sure that I get the lesson right, you know. But sometimes you just kind of have to sit in it and let it unfold, and be grateful for the shit that you go through, even if sometimes it kind of sucks. Because eventually you'll see how everything kind of needed to like fall into place, even though it felt like it was falling apart, it was falling into place. And so yeah, I think that's, fingers crossed, I hope that's where we're at right now. Yeah, I'm really freaking excited for this new journey. I'm excited to show myself again that I can get my body right and I can do it like intentionally, and I don't have to keep chasing after this unrealistic standard, because I keep looking back at pictures and videos of myself from when I was much skinnier and almost kind of idolizing that, and just kind of having to remind myself that I only looked like that because I was so fucking sick and so fucking stressed out, that it's like, I just want to make sure that this time I'm actually putting the intention and the effort in to creating a body that's healthy for me. Do I think by any means that I am obese in this very moment? No. Do I think that I am heavier than I need to, should be, or could be? 100% yes. For my own personal standards. So, you know, I've been heavier. I've been much smaller. I've lost weight, gained weight. I've been so many sizes up and down. And I just want to show myself that I can, like, you know, really lock in and pull my body back to a place where, you know, I feel like me again, instead of feeling like I'm living in this suit of myself. You know, it looks like me, it talks like me, but it's just not, it just doesn't quite feel right. And I have this vision of myself in my head that is also like eating away at my brain. And if you know me, you know the way I operate is that when I have an idea about something or a vision about something, and I don't like fully go through with it, it will just keep chirping in my mind until I get to that point. So, you know, I am done holding back. That's the whole point in my personal journey, I feel, is to live and to be my most authentic self, and to remove the deep layers of like shame and people pleasing and, you know, the idea of performing for others rather than just being who I am and accepting that that is more than enough. And, you know, just taking control of my fucking show, really. So yeah, that's where I'm at. We're getting into dance. We've got some more classes lined up. We got the pole in the room now, so I don't have a lot of space, obviously, but she honestly, she kind of fits real perfect and real nice in here. I like her where she's at. I just have to be careful to not, you know, bonk my fucking head on some corners of shit. Because that wouldn't feel very nice. But she's a vibe. I love her. She's a great addition. She's in gold, my favorite color, right next to green. And so yeah, basically, as I've had her in here, I'm just kind of focusing. I'll get into like the tricks and the technical stuff in class and like at home. Just more of the, just kind of connecting with the pole and connecting back to myself, getting those hip movements in there, clearing out the stored trauma and restoring just that creative fucking fire within me that feels so cluttered and crowded and like, unable to grow. But, we gotta be the rose that pushes through the fucking concrete. It's hard. It's definitely not an easy fucking job. But day by day, piece by piece, bit by bit, one step at a time, you'll get there. Okay? Just take a moment to take in my vision board. Few things have come true on there since I've made it. I can't wait for it to all come true. I don't have a timeline set like to where it's like I have to make a new one of these every year. I have to update it. Like, no. I'm gonna keep this one for a while. I like her a lot. I put a lot of time, energy, effort, heart, and soul into her. And I don't just want to like throw her to the side and make a new one. I just can't wait to see it really all come to fruition. And then when I feel like that one has served its purpose and we got to where we need to get, I'll make a new one. What else do I have for you guys? I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I definitely, I don't feel personally ready to start pole yet. That could change within any one of these fucking few passing seconds. I might end up at a club some way, somehow, and start dancing before I know it, before I feel ready, because, that's just how the life likes to fucking work, You want to wait till you're ready, but they eventually just push you off the fucking cliff and go, no, you'll figure it out. You'll trip, you'll scrape your knees, you'll get up, you'll dust yourself off, and you'll keep it fucking moving, and you'll adjust. So yeah, like I don't want to put any strict chains on when I'm gonna start. Ideally, though, I would like to lose at least 10 pounds so I feel a little bit more confident, like looking at my body. And I feel like I'm back at like my normal. And I'd like to just get more comfortable on the, like, with the pole and like the movements and everything, and fill my muscle memory in my brain with some more moves and stuff, instead of like thinking I'm ready and then getting there and realizing like, I actually don't know what I'm doing. This is a lot different than just like dancing, standing up at the club fully clothed. Like, it really is different. So, yeah, I'm just trying to take my time with it. But now that I have this here, I have every day that I can just kind of do my own little thing. I can have my weekly classes. And I can't wait to take you guys to California with me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Because I've been like, I never wanted to come back to this living situation. But your girl had no choice, and I'm very grateful for what I have been able to create in here along the way. Despite it not, being the most ideal situation, it definitely is a testimony of my personal mental strength and resilience and ability to adapt and be strategic and, you know, stop restricting myself, you know, in a way. Because technically, I shouldn't have done all of the stuff that I've done to this room, but we've lived here for the past almost 20 years. um, and so much shit has happened to this house and it needs so much work, so I was just kind of like, fuck it, you know? Like, is it really the worst that could happen if I make this room look half decent for my fucking self, you know? Because, girl, from where it started to where I'm at now, I honestly need to take a second to give myself my fucking flowers. Can we all just round of applause for me, please? Just know, just take these signals that I'm sending to you and know that it was what I walked into here was quite tragic, and I've made something that is actually pretty cute and pretty functional. It's small, it's quaint, but it's me. And I can't deny that, you know, I prayed and I journaled and I begged the universe for this. So your girl has to be grateful for what it is. Despite the amount of turmoil and struggle and challenges that still come with it, what I've been able to be to create out of my mess is honestly very much so a masterpiece in my eyes. And I guess that's the whole point in the journey and the process and life in general, is that like I want to see this ultimately finished result. I want it to be perfect. When in reality it is meant to be ever changing. And the creation of said masterpiece is not over until it's fucking over. Until I take my last breath here and everything replays before my eyes. Before I don't know, my soul gets recycled, however this fucking thing here works. Or maybe it just all turns to darkness and I return from which I once came. Yeah. All I can really do is be grateful. Even though there's a lot of times where I get frustrated and I want to run and I want to flee. I guess it's really about sitting in your emotions or your environment, not taking things for granted. And you know, that was actually, so I did a class the other day, and my pole instructor, who such a cool girl, love her so much. I took a class with another one of the teachers there, and I was like, yeah, no, I gotta go back to my girl. I've only been in like 3 of her classes, 3 or 4. And it's actually the card. She had these cards that they were like tarot cards or like affirmation cards, and they said "Listen, bitch" on the one side, and we each took one, and mine said to take a moment to appreciate the hard work and what you've created around you. And you know, I was like, I took it in a little bit, and I was like, okay, like this probably means something, but now I feel like the message is really hitting as I sit here and I have this conversation with myself, which is why I want to do this. Because it's like I sit in my head all day and I doom scroll and I doom scroll and I overthink and I doom scroll. And then every time I finally sit up and I prop up the camera and I open my mouth and I just ramble on and let the thoughts fucking flow, I feel like I reach so many breakthroughs as opposed to me just like laying here in silence and bottling it all in and just feeling stuck and like I don't have an outlet to express myself in a way or a place that I'm going to get understanding from. So again, just grateful for even the fucking gust of life that sat me up to do this at 2:11 a.m. Everything's gonna be alright. That's what I just heard in my head. I've been wanting to also do like some channeled messages, but then I get back into like my own little ruts and I'm like, everything I say is stupid, it doesn't matter, I'm just a delusional fucking bitch, like. But I really think like, cause shit like that does happen, like just out of nowhere. One of my favorite things to do when I'm in the car, and I realize like I haven't been playing music and I've actually been sitting in silence, because I have a bad habit of like constantly needing to watch or listen to something when I'm in the car, especially when I'm doing like Uber and I'm in there for like 8 hours at a time. I definitely developed that habit when I was on my road trip. But like my favorite thing to do is to, kind of lock in, take in the moment, and become present and allow myself to open up the channel of like words of encouragement and whatever messages it is that, my brain, my body, my soul, the collective has for me. And I just kind of keep spewing and talking to myself. It's a very uplifting and fun experience. You bitches should try it. If you're literally just ever, you don't even have to be in the fucking car. It's just, I feel like the car is a place where your mind can enter autopilot, honestly, and your body will just kind of take over and do the thing that its muscle memory knows what to do, and it can allow your brain to kind of take the driver's seat, funnily enough, and allow yourself to hear, especially if you're someone who does a lot of journaling. And the way I've done journaling, I was never really somebody who could just sit there and like talk about my day and exactly what happened, because that way for me, I feel like my brain moves too fast to keep up with my hand, and then I feel like I'm struggling to, even make sense in what I'm doing. So for me, it's either just like full stream of consciousness, whatever the fuck comes to mind, I can write and I can do, or it could be pages and pages and hours of endless affirmations, and just like subconscious rewiring. So that's basically a lot of what ends up coming out of my mouth. A lot of it is very positive. I don't tend to have any negative messages, really. I wouldn't consider myself that kind of a channeled, like, oh, your ex is gonna pop back up into your life and this is gonna happen to you. Like, no, it's very much like self focused and self motivating. Yeah. So maybe we'll get into videos like that too, if I find myself inspired to prop my camera up and send you guys a channeled message. I definitely do them in a way where it's like I'm talking to you just as much as I'm talking to myself, because I feel like that's the whole point in this collective, idea or mindset the way I view the world personally. I believe that, the people you surround yourself with, or that you happen to be surrounded with for whatever reason, are reflecting a piece of yourself back to you. Even if you really don't fucking like this person. I haven't quite cracked that code yet. Because I'm definitely, there's some people around me that I'm just like, oh, like, fuck. Like, why are you a reflection of me? And why do I have to be around you so fucking much? Because I really don't like you. And I don't even want to have to not like anybody. Like, for me to not like you, that means I give a fuck somewhere. And that bothers me in itself, Like, I'd much rather just forget you exist. So, yeah. that's where I'm at. That's what I have going. I could ramble on for so fucking long. Honestly, it's another thing I want to start doing is getting on TikTok lives, just for fun, just to see what it is, and also get over that fear, because that's something where I'm like, oh my god, people are watching me. What do I do? They're actually here right now in real time. This is awkward. Like, I don't know how to act anymore. So, yeah, I want to get into that. I want to do all the things, all the social media things, all the life things. I want to split my tongue. Like, I cannot wait till I achieve this next level of self, because I think she has a lot of fun. You know, of course, she's still gonna be going through shit. She's still gonna be growing, learning, and all of that. But I think that she is just so much more of a fully embodied, authentic version of my soul's personal journey, um, that I just can't wait to meet her. Yeah. Um, and I know when I get there, I'm still gonna feel like the same old person who probably didn't like change all that much until I look back and I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's great. It's crazy how things change so quickly, because the split tongue thing. Another thing that my mom would think I was fucking deranged for, but it's just like I can't help it. It's so cool to me. I'm even debating on cheek piercings. I used to always want those. That's still like a 50-50. We might end up with them, we might not. I have plans for another face tattoo. Do I need any more? No. Do I want this one? Yeah. I need so many more tattoos. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fucking fun along the way. Hopefully we don't get any more shitty fucking artists, and we can maybe fix up some of my shitty tattoos. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm really excited for this chapter. And at least I have this here to remember that for the moments where I am just like, fuck it all again, you know? And even in spaces like that where, I get into this moment of like, I want to, myself. I've had to realize, because I was never the type of person who could do that personally. But for me, I feel like when I get to that point and I'm like saying that over and over again, it literally just means that I want to kill this version of myself and I want to be reborn into something else. The whole cycle of death and rebirth. And it's not that I actually physically want to exit this plane. It's just that I think that's a time where I need to, really lock in and not isolate, but like, recenter with myself, and reevaluate where I'm going, what I'm doing, who I'm becoming, and, do whatever dismantling or construction it takes to become this next version of myself. And, remind myself why I even chose to come here in the first place, So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking you guys' ears off now. We can save that for the next time that I see you guys, which hopefully won't be too long. Yeah. I'll see you when I see ya. I hope I see you again. Goodbye.